Okay, so I'm here with Eve today, and we have worked through externalizing her problem. The madness is her problem, and today we're going to work through um, uh, digging into the operations of the problem and doing some remembering. So, Eve.
Hello.
Okay, so Eve, can you tell me how it's gone since your last appointment? You were going to um, gonna go to AA meetings, and how is that going?
It's going good. I've gone to a couple of meetings. I probably need to go to more, but I've just been really busy with work and just a lot of stuff in my personal life and starting to go to these medical appointments because of my medical problems. And it's just been so chaotic that um, the meetings just are not on my priority list at the time. And I think because of that, there's been a couple of nights the last few weeks that I did drink.
Okay, so there were a couple of nights that the madness visited you, and what do you think? What do you think is the difference on those nights from other nights? What's different on the nights where the madness visits you?
Hmm. There's other things other than the madness that comes and visits me in the room as well, including anger and some loneliness and some fear and resentments, and being tired.
Tired. Okay. Okay. Um, so anger and fear and resentment. So, are there nights when you sleep better than other nights? Where's the tiredness coming from? Is it a that work is really harder than other times, or is it that you're not sleeping enough?
Work is pretty much always the same. It always makes me tired. But I think, like when I come to these sessions or when I go to meetings, I get to talk about things that at work, and especially when I'm alone, I don't get to talk about. And I think that's why those things help me a little bit. Where when I don't have them, those outlets, things just add up and they stress me out, and I get to thinking over and over in my head. And the only way I get it to stop is when the madness comes in.
Okay. So when you're going to meetings or you're having your appointments here, you can talk through things that are going on, so you don't get a visit from the madness.
Yes.
Okay. Are there people that keep the madness away?
Well, at work, I would never drink at work. Um, Meetings, um, my mother and my sister, when I get to talk to them sometimes, I don't see the madness so much. Um, and probably my best friends. For some reason, I'm really at ease with those people in my life, um, and so the madness doesn't seem to. It's there, but it doesn't really seem scary.
Okay. So your mother, your sister, best friends, kind of keep the madness at bay. Are there people that invite the madness to visit?
Mm. Yeah, my ex, um, every time I still talk to him on the phone or think about that situation, um, the madness seems right around the corner. Um, Also, the anytime I think about the news about my medical problems, the madness comes back. Anytime I see the ex's stuff around our house, it makes the madness come back. Yeah, that's about it.
Could you solve part of that, like by getting rid of the ex's stuff? Could you?
Oh, I don't know if that would be any good.
Okay.
That's our stuff, not his.
What's our? Oh, both of yours together.
Mhm.
Okay. Okay. Um, what do you think you could do to help change that feeling so it, or change that so that that stuff is not inviting the madness in? Is there anything you can think of?
Hmm. Well, I guess I could actually get rid of some of the stuff and just get stuff that's new and not associated with him.
Okay. Okay. Um, so are there any other, like, are there any activities that you do that keep the madness at bay?
Sometimes when I do arts and I draw or go to concerts and listen to music, or like I said, the meetings, um, the madness is not so loud.
Okay. Any activities that cause the madness to visit?
After my shift, sometimes we go out to the bar and I try not to drink, but my coworkers, drink, and when that happens, the madness gets louder and louder. Um, and being alone, for some reason, I don't have noise drowning out the madness, and it also becomes loud then.
Okay. So being alone is a problem. So how often do you visit with family and friends in places other than bars?
They live a long way away, so I get up there a couple times a year. Mostly we talk by phone.
By phone. Okay. Um, so you've tell me, has your relationship with the madness changed since you've been working on the externalization? And it seems like you've decreased the amount that you're drinking or how often you're drinking. Tell me a little bit about your relationship with the madness.
Mm. I have more awareness of it now, um, and what it looks like, and what it feels like when it takes over the room in my space, um, and some of the consequences of what happens when that happens. Um, so yeah, it's been beneficial for that. Um, and I just want the madness to come around less often is really what I'm hoping for.
Okay. Do you feel like it is coming around less often?
It is, because some of those things, those times that I realize it's not there, um, if I do more of that, the madness doesn't come around as much.
Okay. So there are people in your life that invite the madness in.
Hmm.
So um So what if we changed the people in your life? What if we remembered your unit or your team? So think of kind of think of who you would want. Like when you're at work, you have your unit. What unit do you work on at the hospital?
At the ICU.
The ICU. Okay, so the ICU, you have your charge nurse in there, and you have your doctor that you work with, and then you have your other nurses that are your team, and your CNAs, and then any multidisciplinary people that might work on that team. So so and in the ICU, we keep out people that don't belong there, right?
Mhm.
Um, we don't want we're protective of the people in there, and we don't want people in the ICU that don't belong there disturbing the patients or the staff. So maybe uh, your ex-husband might be somebody that we keep out of the ICU.
Mm.
But who would be your charge nurse, do you think?
Mm. Probably my sister.
Your sister. Okay.
Mhm.
So she kind of um, helps guide you and make sure you're doing the right thing and tell me more about that. Like why she would be.
Well, she has good instincts. She has a lot of courage. She told me that she believed my, ex-marriage was, um, showing some signs of trouble before I was willing to look at it. Um, and in the past, she's also noticed when my drinking was getting, bad. And she had the courage to talk to me about that, but she never judged me or held that against me. So yes, she would be my charge nurse.
Okay, great. And who would be like the doctor on
Hmm.
your team?
Probably my old sponsor.
Okay. So tell me a little more about your old sponsor.
When I was in the program before, they asked that you do these 12 steps, and I had a sponsor, and she had, you know, 20 something years sober at that point, and part of the steps is kind of like looking at your life in different aspects about it, and she walked that path with me, so I would trust her judgment like that.
Okay. Is she still available to you?
Yes, every once in a while she texts me to check in and see how things are going.
Good. Okay. Um, and even when you're not talking to her, like if you're having a hard time with the madness, you can still hear her, like think about what she would have said to you, like what she would say if she was there.
Mhm.
So we can use um, uh, what we know of people and their voices to help guide us when we are going through or when the madness visits you.
Mhm.
Try to impart what she would tell you.
Mhm.
So who else would be on your team?
Hmm. Probably my lifelong friends. We grew less close during the final years of this ex-marriage, but she's always been there for me, and we grew up together.
Okay,
Mhm.
good. Um, is there anyone else that you would want on your team?
Probably my mother, and that's about it.
Okay, is there anyone else that you would reject from your team or that you would want to just not have on your team?
Other than my ex, Um, Probably my cousin, because my family's been really supportive of me through this process, but my cousin actually would encourage me to stick it out and to put up with the behaviors of my ex because that's what marriage is about. And when I had announced that um, he was seeking a divorce and that I was okay with that, she got really mad and stated that I should have tried harder.
Okay, so we're gonna keep her off of your unit, your ICU unit.
Hmm.
Okay. So, any other thoughts about your new team or your new unit?
No, I like it.
Okay.
Hmm.
Alrighty. So maybe let's think over this and when you have thoughts about your ex-husband, or if you think about calling him or he calls you, remember he's no longer on your unit, and so hopefully that can help decrease the power that he has over you.
Yeah,
So kind of think about that until the next appointment, and then we'll touch base on that again next time. Okay.
that sounds like a great idea.
Okay. Thanks.
Thanks.